So that's the third time I'm trying to revive my channel. Hi, my name is G and I'm a Varsovia and public transport enthusiast. As you can see, I was at Bank Square in Polish Plac Bankowy in the close vicinity of the City Hall because I wanted to start my new series there. This series, aka these episodes, would be devoted to lost infrastructure, lost buildings, lost railway lines, lost tram sections that Warsaw once had in the past, but they no longer exist. And it would be called Lost Warsaw. Let's begin with some historical facts. The Warsaw tram started operating on December 11th, 1866. It was the first tram network in Poland and one of the first in Europe. It actually was the ninth tram network in Europe. The initial route of this horse-drawn tram line started from a siding at the Petersburg station, Dworzec Petersburski. Now it is called Wilno station, Dworzec Wileński. Then trams crossed the Kierbycz Bridge, Most Kierbedzia. Today it is called Śląsko-Dąbrowski Bridge, in Polish Most Śląsko-Dąbrowski, and then proceeded along Krakowskie Przedmieście, Królewska and Marszałkowska streets, reaching the sidings of the Vienna railway station. In Polish, Dworzec Wiedeński, which was located in the place where today's main entrance to the Centrum metro station is located. The before-mentioned route was about 6 kilometers long and was divided into two lines. The interstation line, linia międzydworcowa, and the city line. The interstation line was reserved exclusively for rail passengers and it operated between Dworzec Petersburski, Petersburg Station, Dworzec Terespolski, Terespol Station, and the Vienna railway station, Dworzec Wiedeński. The second line, the so-called city line, was intended to use for local residents. The route of this line started at Krakowskie Przedmieście in the close vicinity of the building with the number 64, which is called Resursa Obywatelska. Then it proceeded along Krakowskie Przedmieście, Królewska and Marszałkowska streets, reaching as well the Vienna railway station, Dworzec Wiedeński. Nowadays, the trams are gone from many of these places. Please notice on the map that the line had also a short branch to Plac Grzybowski, Grzybowski Square, where the tram route was located, and actually that's the first place we are heading to. I made it to Grzybowski Square, or Plac Grzybowski in Polish. The square itself is a beautiful place with a lot of history. Its history dates back to the 17th century when it was developed on previously undeveloped land at crossroads leading to Ujazdów Castle, Zamek Ujazdowski, the village of Służewiec, and the old town. Maybe I'll do an episode about this place in the future. But coming back to reality, as you can see, the square itself has extremely diverse architecture. There are some high-rise apartments buildings, smaller ones as well, and there are also some newly built skyscrapers. And don't forget the most important building in the square. Right in the middle of it stands the beautiful All Saints Church, or Kościół Wszystkich Świętych in Polish. By the way, there is also a small park, or as we Poles call it, a square, where you can rest for a few minutes while admiring the church. Unfortunately, when I was there, it was a bit rainy. And a few steps away from this square, there are also famous street signs on the Próżna Street. featuring all the street sign designs since the time when Warsaw was occupied by Russian Tsardom in the 19th and the beginning of the 20th century. But let's get back to the main highlight of this episode, the disused tram tracks. As I said before, the historic disused tram loop and tracks at Grzybowski Square operated from the 19th century. Firstly as a horse-drawn line from 1866, followed by an electric one, and they were finally dismantled in 1988. During the conservation works here, not every rail could be preserved because some of them were too damaged. That's why the workers used darkened bricks to indicate where the tram tracks used to run. The second remnant that I want to show you is located on the Three Crosses Square, Plac Trzech Krzyży. The square has a long history and was laid out in a strategic location originating at the junction of old routes leading out of Old Warsaw. Today the square features diverse architecture. You can see several neoclassical townhouses, the magnificent tenement under the Griffins, Kamienica pod Gryfami, the beautiful complex of the Institute for the Deaf, and a new modern commercial building. However, the most important monuments are located right in the center of the square. St. Alexander's Church stands right in the middle, dominating the surrounding area. Directly in front of it, on the southern side, stand the square's oldest monuments, two columns topped with gilded crosses, dating back to the 1730s. The square's name is derived from these two crosses on the columns, as well as the cross atop the dome of St. Alexander's Church. It is also worth walking to the northeastern corner of the square, where Książęca Street begins and runs down the escarpment. The street's layout is no coincidence. It follows the path of the Rudawka, a Warsaw lost river. Let's get back to the trams. The history of trams at this location dates back to the 19th century. Tram service arrived at the square then known as St. Alexander Square on October 18, 1881. The entire line was single track and was built by the Belgian company Société Générale des Tramways Varsoviennes. Pardon my French, I don't speak French. Owing to the company's origin, Warsaw residents refer to it as the Tramway Belgijski, Belgian tram in English. From the outset, the line was intended for passenger transport within the city. The route began on Nalewki Street, which no longer exists, and ran along Świętojerska, Długa and Wąska streets through Podwale, and then along Krakowskie Przedmieście on the section between Królewska Street and Nowy Zjazd alongside the horse-drawn tram line opened in 1866. Nowy Świat, Aleje Ujazdowskie and Bagatela Street, reaching as far as the Mokotów toll gates, which mark the city limits, city border at that time. The line opened on 18th October 1881. Throughout its length, it remained single track, and trams operated between 7:30 a.m. and 10 p.m. In 1918, new tracks were added in the northeastern section leading to the Pobiśle district. Plac Trzech Krzyży played a significant role in tram traffic during the interwar period as well. 5 lines ran through the area, and the 6th terminated its route here. Additionally, 2 other lines skirted the edge of the square, turning onto Książęca Street. Tram traffic was suspended at the outbreak of the World War II, but was gradually restored. After the war, trams returned to Plac Krzyży in 1946, though this time running on tracks with a new gauge and in a different configuration. Ultimately, buses replaced the trams. The loop was closed on July 23, 1959, and the line connecting Nowy Świat to Książęca Street was removed on October 25, 1960. The only tram remnants visible today are these rails embedded into the pavement. They were uncovered during the construction works at the square in 2023. As in the previous case, workers used some paving stones in different color to indicate where the tram tracks used to be. The last remnant that I wanted to show you is located on the Aleja 3 Maja in the beautiful Solec. The road that would eventually become Aleja 3 Maja was built between 1823 and 1824. At that time, it connected the riverside settlement of Solec with Nowy Świat and the rest of Warsaw. Throughout the 19th century, the area developed into one of Warsaw's industrial centers. Warehouses, timber yards, mills, and factories appeared along the route. Everything changed in the early 20th century. Between 1904 and 1913, the city built the monumental Poniatowski Bridge and its 700-meter long viaduct. In 1916, this section of the route officially became Aleja 3 Maja. Between 1921 and 1931, the Warsaw Cross City Line and Warsaw Cross City Bridge were built, transforming the landscape of this district. During the interwar period, modern cooperative apartment buildings were constructed along the avenue, including the building at number 5. Located directly beside the surviving tram track. After World War II, Warsaw faced the enormous task of rebuilding not only its buildings, but also its transportation network. The Poniatowski Bridge had been destroyed during the war and had to be reconstructed. When it finally reopened on July 22, 1946, it became the city's first post-war tram connection across the Vistula River. To support this new route, a temporary tram depot known as Solec was built beneath the bridge viaduct. The depot included 3 storage trucks and facilities for servicing tramcars. At the same time, new tram tracks were laid along Aleja 3 Maja, connecting the depot with routes running through Książęca, Ludna and Solid Street. The depot remained in operation throughout the late 1940s and 1950s, although regular passenger services were gradually withdrawn. Trams could still access the depot until October 1960. The depot itself was dismantled in early 1961, and most of the tracks in the area were removed soon afterwards. For decades, almost no visible evidence of this forgotten tram track remained. During the renovation of Aleja 3 Maja, most of the historic cobblestone surface was replaced with asphalt. The remaining tram tracks were also scheduled for removal. However, local residents and heritage activists intervened, arguing that the race represented an important piece of Warsaw's post-war history. As a result, a small section of the original cobblestones and tram track was preserved in front of building number 5. This fragment is now the last visible reminder of the temporary Solec tram depot. As I mentioned in a YouTube community post yesterday, this is one of 3 planned mock episodes of the Lost Warsaw series. If you enjoyed this format, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. That will let me know you'd like to see more episodes in this series. Thanks for watching and goodbye.